Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Leafs fans, Harnish and Armaan here with you live after let me step back for this. Leafs win over the Florida Panthers. Holy crap, what a game that we just
What a shit show of a game.
I loved it. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with me. I love the chaos. Just like the storylines, like everything going on with it. It was like picture perfect. And
that was genuinely like the weirdest game we've ever played. Like the sloppiest game from everyone. We could talk about this game for like an hour.
The 2 points though. Who cares?
Yeah, they got the 2 points, and I tweeted that. I was like, just get the 2. Find a way to win. This game, like the process in this game is a wash for everyone.
Dude,
this
honestly,
was such a bad game for every single player.
I write notes during every game, right?
Yeah.
And after that second period, that late goal on Matthews and the dying seconds of that period, I was just like, you know what? Just screw it. Take my notes away. I'm just gonna sit back and just enjoy the game, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, we got spoiled with everything, dude. We got to witness basically everything other than a shootout.
Which is good. Thank God
honestly,
we didn't get to
thank God.
That.
But yeah, there's so much to really unpack, and we can spend like literally an hour on this. So let's give a shout out to Sports Interaction first, and then let's get into it. So think you know what way it'll go. Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pre-game, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 and older, and please play responsibly. All right, Armaan, we have the task of breaking down this game.
I honestly don't know what to say. Like this game, okay, and analyzing this game is not like you can't do anything with it because everything just went to shit immediately. Like one was the first goal, like a 1 minute 50 seconds in.
Yeah, okay.
Like it just instantly went to the most sloppy game I've ever seen from both teams. Like the Panthers handed us this win. We gave it to them, and then they just gave it back, and then the refs were also garbage. The entire I had no idea what was gonna happen at all throughout this entire game because no one played NHL hockey. It was just fucking wild.
Dude, okay, I'm gonna look back at it. How many minutes were actually handed out? Can you check that up in the meantime? But
for penalty minutes?
Yeah, because it was ridiculous. I think we had to have at least like 15, 16 penalties.
Looking at the penalty summary,
and guess what? Ridiculous.
None in the third period.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first
the refs were just like, this is a game now. Like, we can't call penalties anymore. Did you see Eric Stahl just literally sitting on someone, and then they didn't call it because it's like the last 2 minutes of the game, and they're just like,
look at what Gudas got away with. Like, what are you gonna do at that point? All right, let's talk about the first period because there's so much to unravel, and I think we have to really start with the first period and just talk about the absolute shit show that happened over there. Because, my God, I mean, we can talk about Murray, and we are going to talk about Murray, but I think I have to start with Marner. I think Marner was super disappointed in that first period. I mean, that whole first goal that occurred, that was because, Marner runs into a ref, and he's talking to the refs, like expressing his displeasure. But you gotta understand, the refs are part of, like, if you actually think about it, they're part of the game. Like, they're essentially, think of them as like a wall or like the boards or something.
Yeah, right? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You play until the whistle. You play until the whistle, and he hesitated to get back, which left his man open.
It gave an uncontested shot to Verhaeghe, right? And like, just absolute shit show. And then the second goal that happened, we'll talk about that power play because I believe that was also during that 5-forward power play as well. But the Panthers scored shorthanded, and that was again because Marner just couldn't collect the pass and ends up giving it away on a 2-1.
And that 5-forward power play.
I hate it.
Why are we putting that out in a 1-1 game in the first period?
Why are we putting it out in general?
No, but
I don't understand.
I'm okay with using it. You're down 2-1. It's late in the third. You need offense. Like, just try and get something going. Or it's 4-1 and you're you have a power play and it's early third. Like when you need offense and you have to risk your defensive play to get that offense, utilize that. Why are you using it in a 1-1 game like halfway through the like first period? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get why we did that.
I think that's the egregious thing, but still, like, the reason why we started deploying this was because Riley was injured, and he was the man for our power play, right? I mean, he's our go-to defenseman when it comes to the power play, and with him back in the lineup, I don't see why we're still playing around with this. I mean, our power plays have been fantastic in the past couple of seasons. That's been manned, but that's a large portion of that is because of Riley as well, right? That's a whole other topic, but I don't think we should be going to this five forward power play anymore at all. It's not going to work out in the playoffs, and if it's not playoff hockey, it's not worth investing time in. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's okay to experiment, and I like that they're experimenting, but I just want to see it done at the right times, and just that wasn't the right time. And you know, on that play, Marner makes it's a tough read, but you know, just thinking about it, if he didn't dive to make that, you know, pass into the middle, he probably would have gotten back in time to stop that rebound from getting to Lundell. So, you know, it's a tough read. I don't necessarily blame Marner for either of the plays because it was sort of unlucky both times, but at the same time,
that first one was not unlucky, man.
The first one was unlucky in the sense that the ref got in the way.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have started
I'm not
chirping
saying
at him. Wait until after
blame. I'm not saying he's without blame, but there was an element of shit luck that resulted in that. But on both, you know, goals against, the first two, Marner was the biggest offender. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he had control and he messed it up. That's it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he just right after that second goal, he took a penalty, right?
Yeah.
And then that evened it up. And I know it was a bit of a soft penalty, and Keith complained about it, which, you know, fair enough. I didn't think it was much of a penalty in general, but it was just hilarious how bad the game was going for Marner at that point. But you know, we got the win, so I honestly don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Also, total of 30 penalty minutes.
30 penalty. God damn, man.
In only 2 periods.
In 2 periods.
So.
Hey, you talk about that clip of Keith letting the refs have it.
Yeah.
Read his lips.
I mean, 20 penalty minutes in the second period alone, 10 for each team.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, okay, so Marner was not the only one to blame here. I mean, we had a pulled goalie for a reason, right? That's the real talking point. Murray, I don't know what was happening with him today. I get those 2 goals. The first 2 goals, maybe you can put as a let. Like, it's just unlucky. He was put in a bad situation.
The second goal, you can't do anything about.
Yeah, that third goal though was egregiot in my opinion.
I would say that
No,
yeah, go
because, ahead. They were talking about on during the break, Sportsnet, but they were talking about how Murray, it really favors his blocker side, and that leaves his glove side completely open, right? And I actually found like a whole article actually in 2018 that Mike Sullivan
this has been known
since
his Pens days.
Mike Sullivan, like, he pointed it out, saying that the goalies that tend to play in that butterfly position, they tend to let the goals that are towards the top shelf or towards the top bar go in, right? But you can't blame it on style, like from the way that he was playing today, and especially that's the start of that second period where he let in that goal in the first shot of the period. You had to pull him, man. Like,
yeah. I mean, I would have pulled him after the third goal. Like, that was what, 3 goals on 7 shots?
Yeah,
I think you pull him there. Don't let him start the second. I understand keeping him in because there's obviously an element of, you know, it's a 3-2 game. The game isn't lost. Let him kind of work his way back into it just to, you know, not destroy his confidence or something like that. I'm sure they talked about it in the intermission. But yeah, I'm glad that he had a short leash after that and they just pulled him. 4 goals on 8 shots. I don't think you could make an argument for leaving him in there. Yeah, and High Glove has been, like, for years the you know, in the scouting book for Murray. You know, even in the first game when we were talking about it, like 3 of those goals I think that Montreal scored in that first game was like High Glove or something like that. So it's known for him. And I read something, I think it was from Luke Fox. He tweeted, since Christmas break, Matt Murray has allowed 4 or more goals in 4 of his 7 starts. and that's not a good trend.
Especially
Now,
coming this close into the playoffs, right? We're in the second half of the season. That's when you
yeah,
kind of want to be tightening everything and getting ready.
yeah. But like, to be fair, this is our first goalie pull of the season. This is the first time Murray's been pulled this season, and it's our first non-injury goalie pull of the season. So we've
Yeah.
had, relatively good luck. I think we're one of the teams that have the fewest amount of goalie pulls in a season.
Wasn't there a game where Samsonov let in like a ridiculous amount too? What was it? There was like was it like a 6-goal game or something? It was something ridiculous as well. But they let Sammy just stay in. Yeah, and just
yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. I mean, that's just the question I threw out as well, where it's like, do you, what do you do in that situation, right? Because Murray at that point was our number one guy, right? And do you let him in there in the hopes that he pulls himself out at the cost of let's say he just gets absolutely shelled and destroyed and just pucks getting past him, like just an absolute shit night? Or do you pull him and just save him for another day, right?
I think if it's close, you go for the win,
Mhm.
like.
But
there's
the
no
thing
point
is, like,
in leaving a guy out there.
why do points matter at this point, right? Because like
Points
it's kind
absolutely matter.
No, listen, it's kind of well, other than home.
Yeah, that's a
field
huge
advantage.
deal.
But yeah, I know.
We
But at
we
this
just
point,
went
you're
behind.
kind of already you already know you're facing against the Lightning. Like there's no way we're catching up
you're
against the
facing against the
Bruins.
Lightning, but the Lightning just surpassed us in points percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So we're playing for home ice advantage. The points, I know we're almost certainly facing the Lightning unless things go catastrophically
For the
wrong
Bruins?
for either us or the Bruins. But at the same time, home ice advantage means a lot, especially in hockey. Because in hockey, home ice advantage means you get to put your line change out second, so you get the better matchups. And in playoffs, that means a lot. So, we're playing for points here. This game, like, I know it's like game, whatever, 45 or something like that. So, we're halfway into the season and
More than
it doesn't feel like it matters as much. But I points matter. We're in a tight race for that second spot in the Atlantic. So, I will say, though, Samsonov coming in cold, midway through the second.
Chef's kiss.
Played phenomenally.
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, he was our best player of the
John Tavares.
No, man,
I know he went pointless.
On.
Dude, John Tavares was amazing that game.
I think he
had
played fantastic.
3 amazing chances off of like fully individual plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he does not deserve to go pointless that game. He was the only good player other than Samsonov.
Yeah, there was a couple times where I'm like, holy crap, how does that not slip past Bobrovsky? But Sammy was just on fire. Like, think about it, coming into a position where you're down 4-2, the morale, the vibes are at an all-time damn low, and you got absolutely shelled in that first period. I think that was 3 goals is the most amount that the Leafs have given up in the first period this year, right? He came in a pretty bad situation and made some fantastic saves that kept us in, right? We can't forget that this was a tied game going into OT, right? If Sammy didn't pull some freaking rabbits out of a hat,
he made 2 phenomenal saves in the third period. 2 like game-saving saves.
Yeah.
So Samsonov was.
I think you
definitely
can't
one
go
of our
wrong
3 stars.
with either one, but it's a close tie, and I'm happy that both of them did show up today, though.
But you know what I find like weird about like NHL, like when it went to 4-4, if we lost that game, Samsonov would be given the loss rather than Murray.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, because I think it's about like it's about something I don't know for sure, so I would like someone to fact check this.
Right.
But I think it's about something about when what the goalie is when the score changes, when the lead changes.
So you just leave a goaltender out.
So like it would be kind of shitty if he claws his way back from a 4-2 deficit,
just
and then gets to 4-4
goal,
and then he gets the loss.
Yeah.
Brutal. But anyways, it was a fucking weird game. So
yeah. Okay, let's move on from the goalie situation. I mean, again, Samsonov fantastic. Do you want to talk about refs? Do you want to go off on the refs first, or do you want to talk about the penalty situation? I'll let
I mean, they both go hand in hand. The refs are fucking awful. You want to go at it?
All right.
Like,
take
I do not know what in the world they were thinking. That Liljegren penalty, with the Samsonov stick, made no sense. It made no fucking sense. Liljegren did not touch the stick at all. Like, I understand maybe awarding Engvall a penalty as well because he hit the stick back to Samsonov.
Mm-hmm.
Benning was the player to move the stick. And then they call the right thing. And then they, the fucking Panthers complain and Maurice is shouting. And then the refs convene together. And then they take the right guy out and put the wrong guy in. What are you doing? Dude, what are you fucking doing?
If you
how gullible are they or blind to do that? I don't understand. How can you put the right guy in and then have the opposing coach yell at you and then just change your minds to the wrong decision? What the hell?
Dude, I think like at one point we were up like I think it was like 10 penalties or we had like 10 penalties versus like there were like 6 or something or 7 or whatnot. So I feel like they're just like, you know what? Screw it. The Leafs have had the calls today and just throw it over to Florida. Call it a day. And like and like that as well as the other penalty earlier on where Keefe was jarring back at the refs with as well. They were just pulling these penalties out of a hat, man. They had no clue what was going on at all. They're just like, all right, you know what? Take it.
On that clip of Keefe yelling at the refs, Tic Tac Tomar did a bit of some fine lip reading, and he said something along the lines of, "I know we already got 3 penalties for, but that was fucking bullshit." And yeah, that's not wrong. Like that was a call to even up penalties. You know what I mean? Like I think we can all see that, and yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking. And even like reviewing the goal after Willie's goal, or not Willie's goal.
Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews' goal.
I was so nervous.
I was nervous too. I was like, with what the refs have called so far, I honestly don't know what's gonna happen.
Dude,
because like who knows? Like I don't fucking know what they're thinking at any point in this game. It just doesn't make sense.
I swear, if they came on and if that goal got called back, I would have entered game over with the bananas and just ripped that thing to shreds. Just that's the last time you're ever seeing it. Not because the Leafs started playing fantastic and you never need to bring it out again. Because I'm ripping the shit out of it because I'm so mad. Yeah. I'm so happy that went in. And by the way, fantastic goal by Matthews. Absolute beauty.
They played, honestly, the Leafs played okay in the second half of this game. But it did not make up for the first half, which was genuinely like this is the sloppiest game I've ever seen. From our very own, Game Over's very own, Lauren was at the game today.
Yep.
And we were like texting on the group chat, just like, I'm sorry you went to this game. Like, this is a fucking stupid
game. Dude, I loved it.
But
you know what
it was entertaining at the end of it, but I'm only happy because we won.
I think
imagine
that's exactly
how bad this would be if we came out with like a 4-3 loss.
Yeah,
I would be irate. I would be pissed. That was sloppy. And like, I was almost certain, because we haven't gone on a 3-game stretch of on a 3-game losing streak since the very start of the season. And that was my marker for being confident. By the end of the season, if we don't go on a 3-game losing streak, I'll be confident for playoffs. And so I was just like going through this game like, this is the day. Like, this is the day where we just throw it all away. And honestly, we deserved to. It was horrible. But they got the win. And so who cares?
By the skin of their teeth. Yeah.
Willie, getting the redemption after the penalty shot.
Exactly. Beautiful play. Just slipping it right past. Ooh.
In the most ridiculous fashion for the game tying goal when it went off his head too. Like, just par for the course for the game. Why not have a goal go off someone's head?
Yeah, dude, I don't know how he managed to slip that past Bobrovsky. That was
the OT goal.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Silky smooth.
Oh my god,
that was really hyped. I was honestly that felt great. That felt so great.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go through all of that just to get an OT loss or go into the shootout, which is the most boring event in hockey.
You know how bad my luck has been with OTs this year? I mean, especially in 20, I think all of the OTs that we've gone to, or like the majority of them, have been, like the game overs have been with me. And the majority of them, we freaking lost. So I was just sweating. I'm like, please do not lose this game, for the love of God. And we popped out with a win. And the one player I want to say screw you to is Gudas. I hate it. I hate it
It's
so much.
like, listen, on the ref side here, I'm okay with penalizing. I forgot who he went after.
Listen,
Or who went after.
I don't.
Was it Zach Aston
Don't
Reese?
give me don't give me the breakdown or anything like that. I'm just talking about the player and just the scummy like rat shit that I saw out there today. I mean,
If you, yeah, if
let
you
me
make
go.
a low,
Let me go off. Let
yeah,
me go off.
Go for it.
Because it started off in that first where Gudis, I think it was like Engvall that he pushed into Borovsky. Was it Engvall?
Yeah,
it was Engvall, right? He
It
pushed
like
Engvall,
literally pushed him into it.
just completely shoved him in, and then he comes around, just like trying to start shit with Engvall, like, yo, dude, why are you going into my goalie? And they're like, what are you talking about? You literally shoved him in.
Did it himself, yeah.
Exactly, and then
he did it again at the end of the game. Too.
yeah. But before we even get to that, I mean that's in the second period. Did you
Yeah.
see how he drops Engvall again? I mean,
Yeah.
what did he have against Engvall? Drops the hips, just shoves his ass out, and just annihilates Engvall.
And it's like, what pisses me off is like, I'm okay with not fighting when there's a clean hit that happens. To me, that's not a clean hit. That is a
Yeah.
dangerous hit because he goes
That's
low.
horrible.
He goes. That wasn't like a. It didn't look like a hip check to me.
No.
He went lower than
he
the hit.
dropped and just
He dropped way too low.
bam.
And Gudis is a big enough person where it's like, you know, like if like Mitch makes that play and then Gudis comes up to him, it's you know, lopsided in terms of size. I can
Mhm.
understand Mitch not being like, I'll fight someone else, but not you.
Mhm.
You know? Gudis is massive. This guy should not be like turning down fights after dropping dangerous hits. That is
exactly.
a bitch move. That is the biggest
He just
bitch move. You can
turtled
make.
completely.
And
Are
it's
you
like
kidding
you're
me?
going up and you're going up against Zach Aston Reese. Like I know
You
like,
should
Zach
be
Aston
winning
Reese is
that.
like one of the biggest guys on our team, but that's not saying
you
much,
still-
you know what I
you
mean?
sh-
Like
if you're Gudis,
Radko
you should be
Gudis.
winning that.
I know
Yeah.
you can throw down, so like just drop the gloves and answer the bell when you make a dangerous hit. It's that was such a bitch move.
And the funniest thing was, after the Leafs killed that penalty, who other
Thanks.
than Zar to go attacking the net and Gudis again to just lay his ass out? Like
Yeah, he fucking annihilated.
he was
him.
on demon time today.
Honestly,
It was-
that hit I was more okay with.
that was a
aside
fine
from
hit.
being-
It was just hilarious that it was Zar at the end of the
What
day.
they call it for? Yeah,
Huh?
charging. So that's what
It
I
was
was gonna
charging,
say.
yeah.
It could have been charging because he did not glide into that hit. He took like 5 strides and then just fucking
Laid him out.
annihilated him straight into the post. And so I was like, okay, that's probably a charging, but it looked like a fine hit at the time, but I can understand that call.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Jesus Christ, Gudis was on something. And they like I think he's the one who took the really stupid penalty that got Kerfoot his power play goal. It was like a really dumb penalty from what I remember. I think it was it was 2 minutes for roughing. I think that might have been against Engvall or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, I
Dude,
just
when
have
there's
in my
so,
notes.
when there's
I have
this
in my
many
notes.
penalties, it's so hard to keep track
Yeah.
of what happened.
I have in my
Yeah.
notes. Kerfoot scores on the PP from Gudis taking a dumb fuck penalty. So I'm assuming it was that.
Fantastic. There you go.
And then the next note: this game is so stupid.
Dude, you know what was the best thing that I saw the entire game though? Cousins just taking 3 cross checks to Matthews, and Matthews just flicking his stick, and Cousins just goes flying. Like,
like you know, like I
the
understand-
best moment of the game.
It's hilarious to me that like they waited to call the penalty after Cousins fell because you know Matthews did trip him. But why are you waiting until the 3rd cross check? Just call it
Exactly.
immediately, and then Matthews won't like. It's the same thing with the
Oh,
Darlene, like when he got suspended for cross checking Darlene in the face. Just like he's getting cross checked. What is he supposed to do?
Not even like once or 3 cross, just a
Yeah.
full force. But it's just
And what pisses me off?
the cheekiest, just a little flick of the stick, and he's down for the count.
Like
Hilarious.
even when he doesn't do anything, do you remember? I think it was last year where Pierre-Luc Dubois was just like literally roughing him for like a full minute, and he doesn't do anything,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
call anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you expect him to do in that situation?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's fucking ridiculous that they always look for the even up call when someone's getting cross checked in like a puck battle. Just
Mhm.
call the fucking game.
Yeah.
How hard is it?
Listen, I mean, reffing must be insanely hard though. Like, look at all the shit that happened today.
I'm actually so salty about the ref. It made no sense.
Do you think you could have been a better ref out there?
Honestly, yes. At this point, I'm like reffing's hard, but Jesus Christ, they're like making it hard for themselves by looking for stupid shit. Also, we got a comment from Paul saying both power play goals were against Gudis penalties, so good.
There you go. Just the rat just gets absolutely danced
God,
on.
what a game. What a game.
Okay. Let's talk about our special teams because I'm a little bit nervous right now.
Yes.
All right, we had
too.
so many opportunities. I mean, okay, you said it was like 30 minutes of penalty time. I'll count up how many of those were actually, or do you want to count up how many penalties were actually called in favor of the Leafs? Because I'm pretty sure we got a wide majority of them.
18 penalty minutes
18
out of
penalty
the 30,
minutes.
so it's
there
about, yeah.
Okay,
so nine. We had 9 power plays, or not nine power plays technically because some of them were offsetting.
Yeah,
but I don't know how many power plays we had. Let me check.
Well, the whole premise though is we were definitely put in a favorable spot, especially in that first period. I believe we had the majority of those. Yeah, there you go.
Like and within like the first half of the game.
We couldn't capitalize on any of them, right? In fact, we let in a shorthanded goal,
yeah,
right?
Not only couldn't capitalize, we were fucking negative.
Do you think that purely has to do with I guess with that 5-4? I mean, I understand that shorthanded goal was with the 5-forward power play, but are there any other concerns that you see with this power play unit?
Honestly, like, I'm not taking this game into account from a overarching season perspective.
Okay.
Like, this game was such a wash for me because I'm like, I know that this team is better than this, and they just played the most sloppy, crappy, like, hockey I've ever seen. Like, it was just, they could not communicate with each other. They were making stupid plays. They couldn't string a pass together for like the first half of the game, and we were being handed a win by Florida, and we couldn't do anything about it. What I will say though is I don't like the 5-forward power play. With that being said, I think the first 2 power plays were actually somewhat okay. I thought we got our chances. I thought Matthews had 2 solid one-timers within the first 2 power plays, and that could go in any other night. It didn't this time, but that's a high danger chance. Especially the first power play I thought was pretty solid. Just didn't get a goal from it. With that being said, though, we shouldn't be giving up a shorty like ever. And it was just it was a rough game. It was a rough game. And I thought we picked it up after. I think the power play goal for Matthews, like with 1 second to go in that second period, was a really good setup. We didn't have a ton of time to do anything there because it was the end of the period and the whistle was going to go. So I commend us for making that set play and getting a goal out of it. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like it wasn't that great of a game. Like Kerfoot's power play goal was also nice.
Fantastic game. Excuse me. This was by far probably the most fun I've had in a long time.
The Panthers don't have a good penalty kill. Yeah, and they did not play well at all. Like the Panthers, I think that was their second
shorty of the season. I think that's they mentioned that in the broadcast as well. So yeah, the Panthers are definitely going like not playing up to their potential right now at all.
Yeah, not at all. And so to go like, we went 2 for 7 in power plays overall, which isn't bad. A good power play is probably like 20%, and that's above 20%, so that's going to improve on a good power play. But with that being said, like just looking at it, it was bad. The reason we got those 2 goals was because the Panthers are dog shit. like they played like dog shit and allowed bad goals. Like I don't know what to say about this game. It was just a stupid game. It was just a weird game that everything just went weird. And yeah.
Hey, they needed a gimme game after that Bruins game.
Oh yeah, the Bruins games are rough. Oh, I will say, Bobby McMahon. I wanted to point him out because he had a great game, I thought, and he got robbed, by Bobrovsky actually on the power play. That could have easily been a power play goal as well. But yeah, he could have had 2 goals by now because he had one called back, against Detroit, and this is his 3rd game, and he made a fucking nice ass hit as well along the boards in the 3rd period. I love the way he plays, and it's like really just a a great thing for our scouting department because we kind of pulled him out of nowhere. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby McMahon is NHL level in my opinion, and he's showcased that in these 3 games. I don't know if it'll keep up. Obviously a very small sample size, but we're talking about a guy who wasn't drafted. He was signed to go to I think it was the Marlies originally on an AHL deal,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of worked his way up to playing in the NHL, and so I just have liked what I've seen. And also Dryden Hunt.
Yeah, I was going to mention him.
First
He
leaf
stole
goal.
he stole it from me. God damn it.
And
yeah,
that was such a nice play from Riley as well. That pass
fantastic.
on
Yeah.
He gets rewarded for
But even Dryden Hunt, like to make that heads up play, it to not because that
drive the net.
Yeah, exactly. And like it did go off of his toe, but he didn't make the kicking motion. I was also kind of nervous about that with the amount of those goals that get called back. Yeah, but fantastic for him as well. It's nice to see that these guys are kind of stepping up when we have injuries in the lineup, right? Like these guys are getting some chances and they're making good use out of it, and they're showing that when it comes to the playoffs, if stuff goes on and if we need some depth, they're ready to be called up, right? They can play in the crucial moments.
Yeah, I also want to shout out Timothy Liljegren because he was on a pairing with Morgan Riley today, and I really like that pairing. Riley's kind of struggled since coming back from his injury, and he's been on like 8 D pairings this entire year, and like 4 pairings where he's gotten above 60 minutes. And Riley Liljegren tends to work, and I'm not saying that like Liljegren elevates Riley's game, because like I think the discourse around Riley is a bit overblown right now. At least I understand that he hasn't been playing very well. I think he had 3 assists within 9 games coming into this game prior to this game. Since he's been back from injury, and he was something like a -5 throughout that entire span. So he hasn't been playing well since he got back, but it's Morgan Riley. Like
he's gonna pick it up eventually.
Yeah. And did you see like the the conversation around moving him to left wing?
But what was going on with that?
I think it was just a Reddit shit post, but I just thought it was funny.
Just like, straight up move him from
just take him from
why?
Move him to left wing, because we have a hole on left wing and he's offensive defenseman, so why not? And I was just like, it's a bit different. Being an offensive defenseman doesn't mean you're a forward, but I loved it. I like the creativity. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're throwing a 5-man fucking power play, might as well throw this out there
we'll
too.
Have a 5 forward anyways. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna do here from us. Was there anything else you kind of wanted to talk about in this crazy, insane game that we just witnessed today?
I did want to bring. It's not about the game, but I just wanted to just briefly bring up Nick Robertson, who unfortunately had season-ending shoulder surgery and will be out 6 months. I think that was reported yesterday. Just feels bad. He's only played 82 games in his professional hockey career. Like after he put up that literally like insane historic run in the OHL where he got like 55 goals in less than 50 games or something like that. So brutal luck. I just want to see him succeed in the NHL. And Keefe had given him words of encouragement to the media, saying, despite all the injuries, he's found a way to bounce back each time and still show progression. And it really hasn't stalled him in terms of development. And I think we saw that this year. I think we did see him kind of make a jump, but also like losing that time is pretty brutal. So just want to say, hope for the best for him, because it's just been awful kind of seeing him get injured and re-injured, and then him, back when he got injured in December, we thought he didn't need surgery, and then yesterday we get the update that they elected for it. So tough news.
Yeah, the one good thing is, I mean, he's still pretty young. He's only like 21 years old, right? So he still has a lot of hockey left in him, and fingers crossed he's able to use that young blood energy to heal up quick and get back on the ice. Because you're right. I mean, every time he did get his call up, right, and especially in the earlier on this season, he was just sporadically placed into the lineup, and in a lot of the games he excelled. I mean, there was some games where he looked a little off, but I mean, that's to be expected when you're playing like 1 in every 3 games, right? So hopefully he can get his legs under him and he can kind of just make a solid run and just be a consistent face in the lineup, right? I think that's all we can kind of really hope for at this point.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't want to end on a sad note, so
All right,
please win.
That's it. That's all you're gonna. That's all you're gonna.
Please win. We got 2 points, baby. Let's go to bed, go to work tomorrow, and forget about this game. Jesus Christ. I think Keith will still make him do bag skates tomorrow because, my goodness, was that a sloppy game?
Hey, we got the Jets coming up on Thursday as well, so
that'll be a fun one.
You don't want to bag skate them too hard, right? We still want these points. Winnipeg's playing pretty good, so yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a fun one as well, huh?
They were shit tonight.
Yeah, I know they got that loss. Who cares, man? They're still looking pretty good. They're 8-2 still, anyways. You can't really be mad. I mean, they have a better record than us in the last 10. Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun game. I'm really excited for that. And make sure you click subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to get notified when we do go live on Thursday, as well as all the other great podcasts and content that SDPN's providing you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this game because I fucking loved it. It was fantastic. And let's hope the Leafs keep on winning, keep the points flowing. That's gonna do it here from us. Have a great night, everyone.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.